Hello everyone and welcome to Photo Finds. I'm your host Gavin Hatch, and this week we will not be just visiting the theme parks, but looking at some up-and-coming attractions in the Orlando area. So let's head over to iDrive 360, home of the Orlando Eye. This project has been in the works since March of 2011, and with the official opening date set for May 4th of this year. I decided to explore before the summer crowds take over this really exciting new entertainment complex. It's only minutes from Universal Orlando and is easily accessible from both iDrive and Universal Boulevard. Guests will park their cars in a very large, accessible parking structure that actually provides great views from the top floor, which is where I took these photos. You really feel just how massive and tall the Orlando Eye structure is once you're so close to it. The top of the Eye is going to provide such amazing views of all the local parks, downtown Orlando, and even Cape Canaveral, depending on the weather conditions. The entrance of the Orlando Eye will also be where guests enter to enjoy Madame Tussauds Orlando, the world's most famous celebrity wax attraction, and Sea Life Orlando, that will offer beautiful displays of colorful fish, sharks, jellyfish, seahorses, and a lot more. Afterwards, you can grab a bite to eat at one of many dining locations still being constructed, as well as shopping for those must-have souvenirs. What really stood out to me, besides the size of the Eye itself, of course, is how open the complex is. To me, I don't feel like even in the middle of the summer, this main plaza will feel too overcrowded. Another feature that stood out is the fountains and water features integrated into this space. At the iDrive entrance of 360 is a pool filled with fountains that will be choreographed to music heard in the plaza. The day I was there, two gentlemen from Freeport Fountains were on site programming the water movements to the music. Now, you may never have heard of Freeport Fountains, but if you have ever been to any of Central Florida's theme parks, resorts, or even Lake Eola, you have seen some of their work. Leaving iDrive and headed to the Magic Kingdom, I decided to stop over at Disney's Polynesian Village Resort first to take a look at the changes happening as the entire resort continues its reimagineering. Coming out of the Great Ceremonial House, you can see construction walls are still up as work continues on the main pool. At one of the openings of the wall, we see water is back in the pool itself, but the surrounding area still has a lot of work to be done. While this pool is closed, resort guests are able to use the East Pool, located just a short distance away. I wanted to get some shots of the new bungalow villas that will offer guests amazing views of Seven Seas Lagoon as well as the Magic Kingdom across the way. These are very close to completion, and I am excited to share with you interior shots of the new bungalows in a future episode of Photo Finds. Heading over to the Magic Kingdom, I wanted to look at the recent move for the very popular Aloha Isle refreshments in Adventureland. Sunshine Tree Terrace and Aloha Isle recently switched locations, literally overnight. The same menu can be found at the new Sunshine Tree Terrace location. The new sign has a retro vibe, fitting the spot's original opening date. At Aloha Isle, though, the menu is missing the orange-flavored Dole Whip. No word yet on if or when this will be returning. On my way out of the park, I took a quick look at some progress in the hub. It looks like there has been some completion on one of the flower beds close to the castle stage. Now let's hop over to Disney's Hollywood Studios, as this park has had some big announcements made this past week. It was announced that the Superstar Television Theater would be the new home to, for the first time in forever, a Frozen sing-along, which means the Premiere Theater would no longer be used, and some reliable sources say it's possibly planned to be removed altogether. The Premiere Theater has been used for a list of entertainment offerings, such as The Spirit of Pocahontas, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, and seasonal special events, such as Star Wars weekends. Now, when Frozen makes the move, the Superstar Television Theater will be renamed to the Hyperion Theater. This venue, which opened with the park, was also home to some great entertainment, such as Superstar Television, Doug Live, and most recently, the American Idol Experience. No official opening date has been announced, but most likely will be after Star Wars weekends. Speaking of Star Wars weekends, this year the Stars of the Saga talk show will be taking place in the Theater of the Stars, home to Beauty and the Beast live on stage. This will be the first time the theater will be used for the popular summer weekend event, allowing for more guests than ever to experience the show hosted by James Arnold Taylor. Across from the Theater of the Stars is the Carthay Circle. Now, you won't find any shows going on here, and to most guests this may just look like another retail location, but in fact has a lot to do with the history of Walt Disney Pictures. The Carthay Circle Theater was one of the most famous movie palaces of Hollywood's golden age, and it was here Walt held the world premiere of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Inside, you can find photographs throughout the store, highlighting the night of the premiere for the first ever full-length animated feature. If you ever find yourself on the West Coast, be on the lookout inside Disney's California Adventure Park. Towards the front of the park, you will find another replica of the famous theater, but inside is a wonderful full-service dining location, which I got to experience myself last year, and I highly recommend it. Now let's get over to Epcot, where some very big news in Future World was confirmed this week. Disney officials confirmed that Innoventions West is in fact closing with an expected date of early May. This will be the first time ever that all exhibits will be closed together. Innoventions opened in 1994, and it's not clear yet if it will be a completely new attraction itself or will just be all new exhibits. Nothing has been announced for Innoventions East, but if it has been a while since you visited either one, here's what you may want to check out on the west side before its closure. Think, presented by IBM, combines 3 unique interactive experiences to engage guests in a conversation about how we can improve the way we live and work. At Where's the Fire, presented by Liberty Mutual, you play a fast-paced game where you find and eliminate hazards or threats that may cause home fires. Team up and compete in a fast-paced, high-tech activity. The Great Piggy Bank Adventure, presented by T. Rowe Price, lets you play 3 lively interactive games while loading up a piggy bank with virtual money, on your way to reaching your dream goal. Disney Visa PhotoPlace is exclusive for Disney Visa card members and allows those with the card to have a meet and greet with popular characters such as Mickey and his friends. There is also a video game playground that showcases new Disney video games that you can try out for yourself. Before we head out, let's take a walk to the Japan Pavilion and World Showcase, where you can find some recently added outdoor seating behind the Katsura Grill. This is a great addition and really fits in perfectly as if it's always been there. It provides a good amount of shade, lots of seating, and a good view of guests traveling through World Showcase. If you are one to bring out your own lunch or snacks into the park, I highly recommend this as a place to enjoy any meal. Well, that does it for this edition of Photo Finds. It's getting hotter and hotter out there as we get closer to summer, so remember to stay hydrated, but don't let the heat stop you. Get out, have fun, and enjoy the parks.